Welcome back to recess. Are you ready to play? So, one of my favorite memories from childhood is uh, riding my bike. Now, I don't know if you were a Stranger Things fan, but I did enjoy watching the series because it did take me back to that period in the 1980s when I was young and we were all out on our bikes, right? That's what we did. As soon as we were done with our homework, we were on our bikes. We were having adventures without adults. And there was that sense of freedom, and autonomy and being in control of your destiny and, just being in the kids' world for periods of time. Like there was this really cool place in my neighborhood where it was tucked away from, it was like behind all the houses. There was some kids had like carved out this track for dirt bikes. And so you'd have kids who would just come and like ride their dirt bikes around, and then other kids would be like hanging out on the side, and there were a lot of trees, and it was really kind of hidden from adult world. And it was just the most fun, right? Because like for that period of time, again, you were in charge of your own destiny, hung out with your friends, joked around, had a great time, rode your bike, told ghost stories, whatever it was you wanted to do. And you didn't have any cares, you know? As a kid, this is one of the wonderful things about being a kid, right? We we're not really tuned into the news of the world. And that's a blessing because we're just in the moment more of the time. We're allowed to just enjoy our lives. We're allowed to play. And for some reason, once we get to be adults, there's this understanding that, play goes into certain containers, right? Well, you can play sports with your friends, right? If you go play tennis or pickleball or something, that's allowed. Or you can play with your kids. You can throw a ball with your kids, or like if you have a younger child, you're allowed to play with your children, but you're not allowed to like go to Chuck E. Cheese by yourself. That would be seen as kind of weird. Um, or go to a playground by yourself. That would be seen as creepy, right? But we adults need play just as much as anyone else, and it's something we need to like give ourselves again. So, and of course, if maybe riding a bike gives you a sense of play where you can check out of the news of the day, check out of your responsibilities, because whatever takes you there, it's important that we're able to disengage from all of that noise in our heads, right? The thing about adulthood, right, is that we have taken on all of these burdens, and some of them are ours to carry, and some of them aren't. And I'd say a lot of them aren't, or a lot of them don't need to be in our minds all the time. So, recess is a space where the point of it is to come here and to forget about your worries. And that's not irresponsible. That's actually self-care because we kind of poison ourselves with our thoughts a lot of the time. Our worries, our responsibilities, our burdens, all of these things, they're kind of in our heads a lot. And they're not really serving us. I mean, we have to, of course, manage responsibilities. We have to keep our jobs and take care of our kids. But the mental load a lot of times is heavier than it needs to be. So recess is really just an opportunity to kind of step in, let it all go. That is your right. You don't have to be carrying it all the time. And the more you actually give yourself times during the day to play, or at the very least to put down the load, you're giving yourself a gift of self-love and nourishment and self-care. So, what is one way you could do that this week? What is one way you could play just to play? Not for any other reason than just to enjoy yourself. And maybe it is riding your bike through your neighborhood, not thinking about anything else. Maybe it is playing with your pet. Maybe it is playing with your child. Or maybe it is juggling. Maybe you're a person who likes to juggle. Maybe you want to invite a friend to play board games. Board games have gotten more popular lately because people realize they're just fun. It's good to just get off the screens and do something just fun. Maybe you want to go take a swing on a swing set in the nearby playground. Maybe you want to go down the slide. Maybe that's okay. Maybe that's allowed. So, whatever it is, though, that gets you out of your head, gets you away from your burdens, I recommend it. And the more playful, the better. And because I'd say like I'm talking to you through a screen, obviously, but it's also good to put those down too and do some things in the real world. We get so hooked on these screens. And again, I'm talking to you through a screen, but my aim here is to hopefully get you to sort of get into that feeling we were talking about. The feeling of a quieter mind, a mind that is not revved up going 180 miles an hour, a relaxed mind, a resting mind, a mind that can just enjoy the moment. So think about that. This week, what would you like to do to play? Maybe it's something from when you were a kid. Maybe it's coloring with crayons. Maybe it's, skipping outside or jump roping, and saying one of those little rhymes. And who cares what other people think? Who cares, right? Okay. So enjoy your free play this week, and I will look forward to seeing you for the next recess.